Future bass characteristics. The sound waves are modulated using automation or low frequency oscillation, controlling the cutoff of an audio filter or the wave's amplitude to adjust the waveform. Which means there will be some sound designing involved that I'll definitely focus on. But for now, I like to start with the drums. I loaded these future bassy drum samples from Cymatics into Citala and using the step sequencer made this as a foundation. Time to make a chord progression. I'm adding T4 Sulfur 2 to get started. Let's design a simple solo. This is how the init patch sounds. Let's detune with a few voices for some inspiration. We'll be keeping it low for now. Then in its piano roll, I set the root note to D and scale to natural minor and enable snap to scale to write the progression. First I drew a bass line, then developed these normal chords on top of that. I'm kind of happy with this, so let's copy down the root notes down an octave. Now to make these chords more future bassy, we can convert some of them into 7th and 9th chords. To convert any triad into a 7th chord, we add a note at the 7th position from the root note. Keep in mind we are only counting the keys that belong to the scale. So to convert D minor to D minor 7th, we count 7 notes in the scale starting from D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we have D minor 7th. D minor, D minor 7th. Likewise, we can also make these into 9th chords by adding one more note at the 9th position. We can also try notes that make it sound better regardless of any guidelines, and this is our chord progression. Then I sidechained it properly so that from here on we can completely focus on sound designing. Let's start off by increasing the voices to the max. We are starting to get that characteristic future bassy detuned saw sound. Let's add one more oscillator, this time an octave up. Adding the next oscillator. In modulations, we have these mode envelopes which can be routed to various parameters. Let's open the routing of one and route it to pitch of all 3 oscillators by an amount of -2. Now watch as we change the decay of the envelope. Let's start layering by duplicating this track along with its events. Linking to the original clip will be useful as we will only have to edit one among the multiple clips if we do want to edit them. The change will be reflected in all of the linked clips as you can see here. In the new instance of T4 Sulfur 2, I chose a preset called FM Bass. Nope, we don't want any effects like delay or reverb, at least for now. The only other thing I had to do with this preset was imitate the pitch modulation that we had implemented before. Then I duplicated it again and this time started with square waves. then ramp waves for the second oscillator, and triangle waves for the last one. After modulating its pitch like before, this is what we have now. It's time to create a bus. We'll name it LFO and direct our synth tracks to it. Now we can apply an overall compression and EQ. Then I went back, duplicated one of the synth tracks to make a sub bass with a triangle wave using the root notes. Then duplicated that track for the mid bass. Here is what we have so far. I freezed the synth tracks to decrease the load on my PC and jumped to applying effects in the LFO bus, the first one being this Tal filter 2. I increased the number of LFO curves because 32x was the highest speed factor and I wanted to go even faster. Then I added some more effects. By the way, we have to set the output of the LFO bus to the sidechain bus. Then I shifted my focus to making vocal chops. Since it involves trying out several combinations, it's probably gonna take some time.
Much later.
This is the vocal sample that I ended up using. It's in B minor, so I had to transpose it to our scale. At 0 it's in B minor, now it's C minor, C sharp minor, and now D minor. Now we can press OK. I chopped it up to get this. And here are the effects applied on it. While editing this, I automated the BPM factor of Tal filter 2 to make the synths and the chops complement each other. I also added this lead. That is the repetition. For its intro, I shortened the notes. And with the other synths, it goes like this. It's just detuned ramp wave with portamento and delay and reverb. Then I went back to drums to make it more interesting. We can try reversing kicks. One shots are not the only ones we can mess around with. We can also incorporate drum loops into our drums, like for example this one. We can chop it up and make them to work with the drums we already programmed. As you can see, there are so many possibilities we can try, and this too is gonna take some time.
Much later.
These are the pieces I ended up using. This is them together. And with our drums, I used some more one-shots like these. I also chopped the vocals to match the other elements in the track. Automated the reverb on LFO bus to go 0 when there is no sound. Some automation with TDR Nova. I've been keeping something to do in the end, and that is to separate the sub-bass from the LFO bus, as some of the effects in it do not favor the lower frequencies, so I directed it straight to the sidechain bus. But now we don't have Tile Filter 2 working on it as an LFO, so I dragged it from the LFO bus to the sub-bass track while holding down Ctrl key to copy it. Now we have the exact curves from the LFO bus, but we still have to match its speed factor. So we select the automation data, go to Edit, choose Copy Special, and make sure Track or Bus Automation is checked. Now click on the track in which we want to paste the automation data. Go to Edit, choose Paste Special, and make sure Track or Bus Automation is checked. Also make sure that the destination is the track in which we want to paste the data. The same way, I copied Tile Filter 2 into the LFO bus itself, doubling it in the bus. But in the second one, I changed the modulation to low pass filter and copied the automation data. Like with the sub-bass, I also redirected the lead track to the sidechain bus and copied Tile Filter 2 with the automation data into the lead track. Last but not least, we have these rises in the second half of the repetition, building a slight tension towards the end. And that's it. Here is the preview. Let me know what you think. Leave a like if you found this video useful, subscribe and turn on the bell icon so that you won't miss any future uploads, and share this video if you really liked it. Also make some noise in the comments, especially if you have any questions. And stay safe, stay healthy, I'll see you next time.